Hello, my beautiful wildflowers. How are you today? Alexis here with Modesty. Happy Monday. And I say happy Monday because every Monday I'll be starting to do the skincare Mondays. And although I planned on starting in the beginning of 2021, which will be January, I thought maybe let's get a head start and at least get the housekeeping piece of it finished. And what I mean by that is starting with a simple Q&A. So if you're interested in a skincare Q&A, stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. And thank you for joining me today. And I hope you guys are doing really well. And it is getting very close to the holidays. Matter of fact, this is Christmas week and it is, like I said, a Monday. And so in about 4 days, I guess we'll be celebrating a holiday. And a happy part about that for me, although I don't celebrate Christmas, is that it's a day off for me. So I'll be able to record some videos ahead of time for you guys. And anyway, before I get started though, I know there always is a question. Somebody always asks, what is the eyeshadow you're using or what are you wearing? So go ahead and take a look at that. And I'm going to give you a second to kind of guess, what do you think it is? And a lot of you may say Pat McGrath, Natasha Denona, but actually what it is, it's Colourpop. And this one here, I recently got, and it's called It's My Pleasure. And I'm going to go ahead and show you the palette because it's so beautiful. And as you notice, it's the purples. You guys got me into the purples. And although pinks used to be my thing, purples are my thing. So here it is. I mean, just to give you an idea of what it looks like. And it's so beautiful. And I will be going over some of the Colourpop things along with other kind of pigments and eyeshadows and the skincare Mondays, because there are some things that I want to talk to you about. But this palette here does not contain any pigments where you have to do skin patch testing or anything like that. But that's coming up. So just kind of give you a hint of the things that I want to discuss with you on Skincare Mondays. And of course, all the things that you want to know. So I need questions, so put them below. And these, for today, they are questions. The Q&A comes from different beautiful wildflowers that asked questions. And even though you might have asked me certain questions and it's not here today because I want to keep it really simple today. But like when we get into the weekly cadence, we'll go ahead and address certain things in depth. So right now it's kind of like on a surface of what I think and what I feel about something, but I'm not going into the detailed mechanics of it really deep. Maybe a little bit on the surface mechanics, but not really deep. Okay, so let's get started. And I have my computer here because I do have the questions from the chat box. I did pull it out and make of course, a presentation out of it, like I always do. So I'm just going to show you kind of how I do it. And here it is. And what I do is I put it on my computer and I make a PowerPoint presentation so that way I don't miss anything. And who asked what. And so these first, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions. And that's a lot for one person, but she's got a whole lot more. And they're very good questions. I had a hard time picking and choosing the questions today. And these come from Dana Jetton and my beautiful wildflower, and she's very active in asking questions, and I like that because it gives me something to focus on. And then I have another one behind this from somebody else as well. So let's take it one step at a time. Her first question is, do I use red light therapy, and my thoughts on it? Red light therapy, I do use red light therapy, and I use it as part of the NuFace. And if you get the trilogy, which is this one here, an attachment attaches to the top of this because this actually comes off, and the red light therapy piece goes on here. And I'm not going to bring it all out and everything because like I said, I'm going to keep it surface. In the future, I will go more in depth, okay? And what do I think about it? well, red light and infrared therapy actually has been studied at length and in depth, and it's known to work. But the thing is, you have to remember, a lot of these are not permanent fixes. It's not like you're going to treat yourself and then you stop and you just reverse 20 years of your skin aging. That's not going to happen. You have to remember, any of these things that you actually do, you have to continue. In the beginning, it may be a lot more than, your maintenance piece of it, but you do have to continue it, and don't forget that. And before I go really deep into it, but let me finish this piece and let me give you my thoughts about other things. So experts believe that red light therapy actually acts on cells in the skin, and it's called the fibroblasts, and they're little pieces of cells. But also other scientists have studied that it acts on mitochondria, which is a cell, what they call the powerhouse of the cells. And so they believe that it increases production of collagen and cell turnover. So that way, since when you age, your collagen production really decreases, that actually speaks to the lack of elasticity. It's like if you were to keep your rubber band pulled for a long, long time, all of a sudden, years later, you let go of it. There's no elasticity. It doesn't spring back. It's the same concept. And so, yes, I do believe that it works because I've seen it work, and that as long as I'm doing the therapy consistently, it works. And I know it works because when I don't do it, I can start seeing the difference. And I've been doing this for the red light therapy piece of it since about 8 months now. And so the first, I guess, about the 6 months of it, I did it every night, and then focused on the areas, because I don't have to do my whole face because I don't have wrinkles every pieces, but I select areas and I target them. And so, but I do know it works, and studies have shown that it works. Okay. And that's that. And what is the other piece that I was going to tell you? Oh, yes. Remember, with skincare, how I approach skincare is that I really enjoy doing skincare. And you really have to enjoy doing skincare in order to continue, because it's a lot of work. But I mean, I don't think of it as work because I really love it. It's, for me, a therapy. I spend about 20 to 40 minutes in the morning, and then again, another 20 to 40 minutes in the evening. And the big difference is I don't have to do my NuFace, the microcurrent, or the light every day, because I'm in a maintenance phase of it right now. So I only do them on certain days. And on the days that I don't do it, it only takes about 20 minutes to do my skincare, AM and PM. And the thing is, that's my moments, though. Those are my minutes that I'm in a bathroom by myself. Nobody's bothering me. Nobody's speaking to me. And I'm really enjoying, the motions, and really enjoying myself and giving to myself and doing self-care. So, but it is a conscious effort. And you have to love it in order to continue it. You can't hate it and expect to do this a year after year after year. And it's been year after year after year for me. And then, but don't get me wrong, there are days that I don't feel like doing anything other than, washing my face and putting on moisturizer, and that's it. And guess what? On those days, that's exactly what I do. Because I do have those days. There's nothing that says if you miss one day or maybe 2 days that the whole place is going to fall apart and everything you did is erased. That's just not true. But in the beginning, though, when you're getting into a routine, you should be consistent, and you should be hitting, each of those areas that you promised yourself you're going to do. You should be doing them. And then once you get into more of a maintenance phase, you can miss a day here and there. And I've done it. I still do it. But sometimes I do notice that if I miss more than a day in a week, it kind of makes me feel like I'm missing something in my life. So it's become such a part of my life that self-care, I mean, I look for it and I wait for it. And people say, well, what are you, 20 minutes or 40 minutes in the morning? Where do you find that time? I just get up early. That's it. I just get up early. And the good thing is I have to get up early anyway before the, sun rises to pray. So right after that, I just do my skincare. And I have peace at that moment, right? And so same thing before going to bed. Don't wait till 11 or midnight to go to bed. Start like at 9 p.m. or 8 p.m. or whenever. You don't have to do skincare right before your head hits the pillow. Okay, that's that. I don't want to get too diverted because I don't want this to be like a 1-hour video again. Okay, and the second question, Do I use microneedling? Why or why not? I don't use microneedling. Number one, microneedling, I think, should be done in an office and not in a home setting. And also, microneedling and home rolling are two different things. And the microneedling, you have to be a board certified dermatologist or a trained therapist or something to do those things, because you could get infected, you could get bruising, you could get bleeding, uncontrolled bleeding. Those things can happen if you do it wrong. And so that is different from home rolling. A lot of people think microneedling is the same. All across the board, it's not. And so when you do the medical piece of it, I mean, definitely they monitor you. They make sure that, they're hitting the target areas. And also there's a reason why you do them. And why don't I do them? Because I don't feel like I need them. And also, as far as that's usually a step before doing plastic surgery, is what the dermatologists say. And actually, I recently asked my dermatologist about that, because I did go from a 0.05 tretinoin to actually 1% tretinoin recently. And so I had a conversation with him about that and about microneedling. He says, "You don't need it. Why would you want it?" I said, "No, I'm just asking." And as curiosity, I did ask him, what are the biggest concerns, the complications? He says, "There's nothing is without complications, especially when it comes to invasive procedures." Invasive meaning that you are going to go beyond your protective layer, right? Whether it be an IV or microneedling or having surgery, those are all invasive procedures. You are cutting into, or you're making holes into areas that are your protective layers. And also, what you usually use microneedling is to treat acne scars, sunspots, uneven skin tone, enlarged pores, and other scars. And I don't have those problems. And that's another thing that you need to realize. I don't do everything out there. I only do what I need. I target it to me. So you have to really be careful not to get on the bandwagon of, oh, this is big thing is coming out now. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Why? If you don't need it, why? So just remember, really get to know your skin. What I would recommend you do is go out there and find yourself a dermatologist that you can trust and really get a consultation with them and say, what do I need? And then work from there. Don't go and listen to influencers that's doing this, that's doing that, they're spending this, they're spending that. Don't do that, because a lot of times that's going to cause you more harm than good. So keep that in mind. And all that, I didn't explain what the microneedling does. Is it actually creates little punctures, little wounds, and what it does is it starts to end the effect of repairing those invasive injuries. I mean, it's essentially what it is. It starts to turn over the cells and produce collagen to repair those areas. So that's what it does. But like I said, if you don't need it, why? Okay, because it's not without complications. All right. Okay, so the next question. Okay, still Dana. Gua Sha and lymphatic drainage. I like Gua Sha, to be honest with you. And hold on just 1 second. Okay, I'm back. The reason why I said hold on a second is because I wanted to show you some Gua Sha tools. Here's one here. This is one of my favorite tools because the way it is shaped, and it allows me to, move into areas, like this and here. And so, I mean, I don't want to show you who made that because it doesn't matter. A stone is a stone is a stone. And this is, it's made by rose quartz. But they come in various different shapes and sizes. And another thing I do like is I like them thinner because I feel like it actually, I'm able to maneuver it a lot better. You see the thinness of this here? And they do come in thicker sizes also, which I don't like the feel of them as much. And let's see, I have a whole set here because I do like Gua Sha. And here's one that's similar to that, right? It's a little bit thicker, even though it's hard to tell, but it is a little bit thicker. And let's see, and they come like this, you see? And then, I use these in different parts of the face, and it's really not necessary to have all these different ones. I just have them because I wanted to try it. And I got one more, the one that I don't use, and this one here. And this, to me, is useless because it's so thick. And it's actually painful the way these... This is not curved in any kind of, way that your face may be formed. You may like it. If you do, great, but I don't use it. And so as far as Gua Sha goes, I do like Gua Sha, but I don't usually use it as much as I used to, because I used to do this a lot before I did my Microcurrent, which is my NuFace, because that also acts as a Gua Sha, right? Which is lymphatic drainage. It's to drain the lymphs, and that way it allows you to, your face could look swollen and things like that. And if you continuously do this, I mean, it actually helps. It does help. But I don't do it as much, only because I use the NuFace, and it works as, you know, for multiple reasons, right? Not just sending currents through my face, but also it drains my lymphatic system. But I do use this still, like at times, like if I'm watching TV or something, and I just put on oil, and then I will just play with it, just kind of, because it just feels good. You know what I mean? Like in the summer, you can put it in a refrigerator and then just use that to cool yourself. That's really nice. Or in a winter, warm it, you know, under hot water, and then just, I do that sometimes, but I don't have a routine with it any longer, where I used to. And my NuFace has taken, remember, NuFace is this, has taken the place of my Gua Sha. But yes, I do enjoy Gua Sha. It is a old ancient thing that they've done in Asia for, I mean, thousands of years, I think. And so, yeah, I like it. Okay, like any other machines. Next question is, any other machines? NuFace, Microcurrent. As I said, I do use the NuFace, the Microcurrent. And does it work? I think so, because at one time, I had really bad, saggy eyelids here. And I noticed since I've used it, and it's been about, you know, like 9 months, almost a year, I guess. Yeah, 9 months. Yeah. It's gotten so much better, but it's over time. It's not something that happened overnight. And I was thinking in the beginning, when I was spending, you know, because in the beginning for the first 60 days, it's every single day, every day. And it was taking me 40 minutes every morning. And I was thinking, oh my God, is this thing ever going to work? And after a while, I started to see the difference. And I started seeing my hooded eyes is not as hooded anymore. And I know there is somebody else that does a YouTube channel. Her name is Angie, Hot and Flashy. She swears by it. And that's who got me started on it. I said, let me try it. And I did, and it does work. But it is, again, something you have to maintain. And this actually works by stimulating your nerves, and the nerves that actually holds these like this. You know, you see how if you move a little bit of your skin, there's a difference here. And what happens is, as you get older, you know, it starts to kind of like, it's like our muscles, right? I mean, have you noticed, I mean, how easy it was for us to, you know, work on our muscles when we're younger, but as the older you get, that muscle just kind of like starts to deteriorate. Same thing. And so you're stimulating the nerves and the muscles. And once you do it for about 60 days, you go to a maintenance schedule, which I am on. I usually do every other day, but some people do 2 to 3 times a week. It depends on, you know, what you feel comfortable with. But yes, I do use it. And yes, I do believe in it. And it's one of those things also, again, I enjoy it. It's like therapy, and just, you know, just gliding this big old machine, you know, just gliding it through the face, and, you know, like leaving it, yeah. For me, it allows me to just think about things and just relax. So yeah, but I do believe it does work. Yeah. And so let's see, what's the next question? My thoughts on sheet masks. Do I use them? Yes and no. And what are my thoughts on them? Well, I like sheet masks as long as they're fragrance free, right? And I think I talked about fragrance in my other recent videos, is that there is no place for fragrance. And that doesn't mean just artificial perfumes and fragrances, but I was talking to Corey Bowles, one of our beautiful wildflowers, and she said, well, sometimes they hide the fragrance under other names. That's true, because even natural fragrances are not good for you. They all cause vasodilation, and they all kind of, you know, doesn't do anything. Why even put it in there? Why? Because when it smells good, people think it does something. People think, oh, this is nice. Smell this. Oh my God, that's so nice. Yeah, no. No. And so that's why I have a hard time with sheet masks. There is a company that makes sheet masks fragrance free, and it does. I mean, sometimes depending on their sheet mask, they may put natural like things not rose, but I usually see acai berries. And sometimes they have smell, sometimes they don't. The ones that don't, I think they have the essence in there, but there's no fragrance, right? And so you have to be careful. So it's really hard for me to find sheet masks that don't use fragrance. But that one that I'm talking about, it's made by Whole Foods, actually. It's a Whole Foods brand sheet mask. And if you look, there's no fragrance at all in there. And so, but I do like better than sheet masks is those under eye masks or lip masks. To me, I like those because another piece about the face mask is the fact that I don't like things that are slimy and that slide around my face. And those of you who might have gotten the, what was that? The face mask, the rose gold one, that's supposed to be about $165 or whatever for the pack of 5. That thing is just so worthless. That is so worthless. I can't believe people actually spend that kind of money on that thing. It's like $35 per mask. That thing slides around on your face. It stinks. And it has so many things in there, denatured alcohols and things that are useless and doesn't do anything for you. Yeah, no, I don't like them. I don't mind the kind that comes like a cheesecloth or what do they call the muslin cloth. Those are okay because they don't slide around like the other stuff. And the other piece is, do I use a jade roller over them? No, I don't. Do I own jade rollers? Yeah. But again, I use my NuFace, and I would rather use my what do you call it? This Gua Sha before I use jade rollers. To me, that's kind of like I don't know, it's gimmicky. I mean, it doesn't do a whole lot. I mean, if it makes you feel good and it, you put it in the refrigerator and you just roll it to feel good, that's okay. But don't expect that it's doing a whole lot because it really isn't. I mean, it's pretty gimmicky, So I get the idea. I get the idea of, draining your lymphatic system. But the thing is, you can do the same thing with your fingers, using fingers and oil, doing this. I mean, this is what they used to do in Asia for hundreds of years. And now you're going to put in, spend $20-something for a J roller yeah, that's how I feel about J rollers. And so, but I mean, if you already have something like this, you can use that for your mask as well. You don't need a jade roller. But if you have one and, it came in your box or something and you want to use it, that's fine. It doesn't hurt, but does it help? I don't think so. So, yeah, that's that. Okay, and the other piece, what do I think about Korean beauty and Japanese beauty? You guys know I'm half Japanese, right? I mean, most of you do who's been watching my channel. My mother is full Japanese. I was actually raised in Japan and came to America when I was a teenager. And so I grew up doing skincare. I mean, since at a very, very young age. And the thing is, though, what people need to realize is that you don't need 22 steps. That's the problem with K-beauty. I mean, there's so many steps to do in there. I mean, nobody's going to do all that. Who does that? I don't. I mean, at the most, I use maybe 6 products, and that's on a day that I use a lot of stuff, right? But there's only certain basic things that you need to do. And actually, there's there's another question behind it, so I'll save that piece. But what I think about Korean beauty and Japanese beauty, I think they have very good products. I trust their manufacturing, and I trust their products. I mean, but I say that only because it's one of those things where if it's made in Korea, I'm not going to say, I'm not going to use it. Or if it's made in Japan, I'm not going to use it. No. It's just like things made in America. I will use it, but I'm going to look at it and take a look and see, make sure it doesn't have fragrance. I'm going to do the same things that I do with any other thing. It's not like flat out made in China. I'm not using it. And that's because of manufacturing issues and because of things that I've read and things that I've studied. And it's not things that I see on social media. It's things based in medicine. And so this is a reason why. Okay. So this is getting really long, guys. I am just so sorry because I'm feeling my iWatch telling me it's time to exercise. That means, oh my God, I'm taking forever. I'm sorry. Okay. So let's move on. So anyway, what do I think about Korean beauty and Japanese beauty? I love it. They're good, especially if it has products such as green tea. okay? Rice, any kind of fermented rice ingredients and things like that. But again, I look at those things, those are good stuff, but I don't want the bad stuff with it. So it's just like Korean beauty, Japanese beauty, American beauty, French beauty. I mean, I'm going to take a look and see if it's, you know, it's actually ingredients that are good. But I do prefer Asian beauty products though, to be honest, because I think they completely understand. The Western world is now recently realizing or, you know, understanding what some of these aspects of skincare and beauty is that's been known in Asia for, I mean, centuries. So, yeah, I do trust their foundational knowledge, but I do still question modern capitalism because, you know, companies, cosmeceuticals and cosmetic companies are there to make money. So, like I said, everything with a grain of salt, and I will investigate regardless where it's from. Yeah. So that's that. Okay, and let me see. What is the next? Okay, these questions are from Heart Warrior Mama 91. I don't know your name, so I'm sorry. So these came from Heart Warrior Mama. And she asked, is double cleansing worth the extra time? Short answer, yes. Absolutely. And you probably say, why? Because first, when you're double cleansing, first thing you do is get rid of all of the gunk and all of the stuff that's on your face, on the surface, right? And then so you want to get that stuff out of the way. So that way, when you go in there to do the proper cleansing, the second step, you're able to get in there at the level of your skin. It's no longer the oil that's floating on top, the waxes that's floating on top, everything else that's floating on top from cosmetics, from environmental pollutants. And so you get rid of that by cleansing it first, you know. I mean, either what I do is I like to use a oil-based or a petroleum-based product on my face, and then I get that off, and then I cleanse afterwards because now my cleanser can actually get to my skin to cleanse. Okay, and so because try this, just do one step with your soap or whatever you do, and then take a cotton round and put a little bit of oil or whatever on there and kind of go over your face and look at the cotton round. I guarantee it, you're gonna have tons of stuff still on there. Ew. Okay, and then double cleanse yourself, and then try that again. And you shouldn't see if you cleanse yourself right, if you did actually put some muscle behind there and really give it a go, really nice and nice rinse, you shouldn't see anything. So that's the thing. Double cleansing, short answer, yes, absolutely worth it. Okay. And so let's see, what's the second question? Do eye creams really help dark circles? That's a hard question because the cream in itself, probably not, depending on what the cream contains. And not all creams are created equal. And also, especially if it has fragrance. I think I explained that in my other video because I'm going to say it here again because you may not have seen the other video. And that wasn't a skincare video. So, okay, number one. Does the eye cream have fragrance? If you say yes, then absolutely it doesn't work. Why? Because fragrance is a vasodilator. Vasodilator means the vessels dilate. In other words, this is constricting, this is dilating. So when you allow your vessels to dilate like that, the blood comes to the surface. And a lot of times that's what that is actually the darkness is from the blood underneath. And there's other reasons for it, but I'm just making it really simple for today, okay? And so when you put fragrance stuff on there, it's dilating. Unlike caffeine, right, which constricts. And so this is a reason why caffeine has really come to the surface of today's eye care and things like that. Caffeine and ECGC, those two chemicals together, really help with the darkening. And they don't usually come in a cream, but they usually come like it feels like an oil, but it's like a liquid. And there's a really good brand, really good one by The Ordinary, and it's caffeine and ECGC. And so in the future videos, I will share that information more in depth with you. But do eye cream really help dark circles? Short answer is no. But then again, like I said, not all creams are created equal, but definitely not the ones with fragrance in it. And you want to avoid fragrance. Fragrance, actually, like I said before, does nothing for you. it does the opposite, right? It's detrimental. And some people do become allergic to it and get reactions from it. They get, okay, now for sure I know my video is too long because it just shut off on me. This was supposed to be a 10-minute video. Sorry, guys. Okay, so the other piece, I want to finish off with this. Do eye creams really help with the dark circles? Like I said, the short answer is no. And do I buy eye creams? The answer is absolutely no. Would I use it if I got it for free in my beauty box? The answer is maybe. If it has fragrance, absolutely not. If it doesn't, then maybe let me try it. Okay, that's the way it goes. And so, but like I said, in the future videos, I'll get more in depth in these things, okay? And what is the difference between mechanical peel and chemical peel? Okay, the mechanical peel is when you just surface peel using some kind of a mechanism like salts. It could be these little small, like a sandy, gritty things, right? That's mechanically peeling things. Or you could use a machine that mechanically peels, causing friction, right? That's mechanically peeling. Anything that you peel that way. But chemical peel is one that you put like AHA, BHA are good examples of of chemical peels. And they work, and unlike the mechanical peeling, it only works in surface, right? Whereas with chemical peels, some of them go a little bit deeper and underneath the layer. So like, depending on if you use AHA or BHA, one works in the surface and the other works underneath. And so you could either use both if your skin is not too sensitive, and I use both. But if it's too sensitive, you can use one or the other, or you can alternate. Okay. And so that's the difference. Simple. I mean, giving you a short answer, mechanical peel. I mean, just think, mechanism, mechanical, move it around, chemical, put it on, and it does its work through chemical reactions to the skin. Okay. And then, the last question, this is a good one. I like this one. What is worth doing for a 20-year-old or, somebody that's in their 20s or that's getting ready to leave their 20s? I'll be honest with you. There are only few things you need to do really at that age and to preserve your skin. And that is, you have to make sure that you wash your face properly and you moisturize, right? And when you wash your face, and never go to bed with makeup on, ever, ever, ever. Please, please don't do that, okay? I mean, that's a quick way to age your skin, is going to bed with makeup on. So cleanse your skin, moisturize with a moisturizer that's good for your skin. If you have combination skin, use ones for combination skin. If you have oily skin, use one for oily skin. Dry skin, same thing, okay? And then the most important, though, I'm going to tell you, and a lot of people don't like to do this because for one reason or another, sunscreen. You have to wear sunscreen. I use sunscreen inside the house in the middle of winter when it's really hazy out, okay? I put on sunscreen twice a day in the summer inside the house. And if I'm going outside, I also have powders that I think, I've showed you where I have an SPF powder as well. I have a sunscreen underneath, I have makeup with SPF, and I have a powder with SPF, okay? That's how important SPF is. You have to protect your skin because once the sun damages it, it's really hard to repair it, especially when you're young. If you start doing these stuff early, believe me, when you're in your 50s and 60s, you're not gonna have to suffer as much as people who are out there, tanning and getting exposed to sun. And there's a reason why a lot of people don't like to use SPF because, number one, it doesn't work well with their makeup, but that's no excuse. There are plenty of SPF out there. Matter of fact, I've tested, I think I have like 14 of them here that I tested. And I can tell you there are ones that work with makeup. You just have to find what, works with your brand of makeup. And also a lot of times people say, well, it burns my eyes. Well, you're using the wrong one. You're using a chemical one that's, not for sensitive skin. There's ones for sensitive skin. And I have a couple of those that I can give you answers to which would work for you or what you should try. And so, but, no reason why you should be out there without sunscreen. So I don't care if you're in your teens or 20s or 30s or even 50s, always, always, always use sunscreen. But if you're in your 20s and you're doing this early, guess what? Perfect, perfect. And you're lucky because, you know, you're going to be ahead of those people who didn't bother taking care of their skin. And now they're 50, 60 years old, you know, thinking, oh my God, look at what's happening to my skin. I need to hurry up and fix it. It's a little bit late. You can do some things for that, you know, age, but still, I mean, you could have done a lot more when you were younger. Okay. And I know when I'm, you know, approaching 60s, I'm feeling that, right? Like, oh my God, did I take care of my skin enough in my youth? And it's a little, you know, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to do the best I can. And I did care for my skin at youth, but I was not as diligent with sunscreen like I should have been. So yeah, no. But no, it is what it is. I'm not going to sweat the small stuff. And I can't do anything about, you know, what happened 30 years ago, 40 years ago. So it is what it is. Okay, so I think that's it for now. This is a very long video and I apologize for that. And so I'm going to see if I can go ahead and put some timestamps on there. I haven't learned how to do that, but I'll watch a YouTube and see how to do that. And that way you could skip around in different places, okay? So anyhow, thank you so much for the questions. And please have more coming because every Monday I will be doing a Skincare Monday. And before I go, oh my God, I almost forgot. This was important. I'm going to name the person who won the skincare giveaway today. And you should be seeing the name now. Congratulations, Nancy. Please reach out to me and let me know where I can send you your winnings. And thank you so much for participating. And for all of you who have participated, don't worry, there's going to be a lot more. Believe me, sometime in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to sit down on the floor and I'm going to video organizing all of my giveaways. And I just bought a set of like 5 tubs that I'm going to separate it in. I have that much. I mean, and they're all like pretty recent in the last couple of months. So, you know, don't worry. You'll have your chances, okay? So, if you have any questions, please leave them below. And if I added any value, please hit like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? I'm near 300 now, and thank you guys so much. I couldn't have done it without you. This is like far beyond my dreams. I thought I would get 50 people, and I'd be happy with that, and to share my knowledge and make content. But wow, 300. I'm almost 300. Thank you guys so much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And please be careful out there. You know, the COVID-19 is still going strong. And protect yourself. Keep masked. And practice social distancing. I know it's not easy. But meanwhile, like I say, don't sweat the small stuff. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.